Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Michael, and we're from Girl Director.
So if you've been following Kerri Chinner for a while, then we want to share with you a couple of little stories. They may be a little long, but they are really important to share with you the impact and magic of Kerri's work.
Absolutely. Kerri is an amazing shamanic practitioner, and we've known her for about 3 years. And over the last couple of years, we've had a few experiences where she has worked with us in her expertise. And the first one we want to talk to you about is when our cat Theo died a couple of years ago. He was 11 years old. We'd had him since he was a young kitten. He was basically, without having children, he was our fur baby. And when he got run over in front of my eyes, the morning we were going to pick up Kerri from the airport to run a workshop with her, I was absolutely devastated, and so was Rachel, and he died in our arms, and we were just, we were at a complete loss. And we let Kerri know. Kerri knew Theo really well and loved him as well, and she said, you can bury him, or what I recommend you do instead is bring him with you. And we picked Kerri up and we went to a place called Mount Glorious up in the bush, and we kept him with us for a couple of days, as she suggested, which gave us a chance to just say goodbye and really kind of come to terms with what was going on. And it was an incredibly spiritual experience for us.
And I think with Theo passing, I was in this, okay, we've got to bury him, but she really taught me or us about the importance of grieving and about how beautiful you can make the experience, because I've never experienced that before. She laid out this beautiful space and we said our goodbyes. We all went in there separately into this space, and it had beautiful flower petals and leaves, and we could, give the wishes to Theo. And after 24 hours, collectively, we just knew it was time to say goodbye.
And to bury him.
And Kerri performed a shamanic, beautiful ceremony as he passed at sunset. And it was just, although it was a traumatic experience and very devastating that it happened, but it also gave us a gift of getting to know Kerri's magic on a different level. And through that whole weekend in the mountains, there was just magic unfolding. And as we'd cry and we'd do some work and then we'd cry again, and then there's a couple of things that showed up that Kerri's like, no, he's here with us. He's going to give you a sign. He'll be here. And then, sure enough, opening the front door the day after we buried him, there was this little bird that had passed away at the actual door, at the door. So there was no sign of why this bird had passed, but there was just a little bird that had passed, and it was like, okay, he's here. Like, you can't get a bigger sign than a little bird.
It always felt like, and Kerri would say this, that he's expansive. We could really feel it, like he was all around us, he was with us. It wasn't like he'd left us. And for me, that was very powerful, because I guess I haven't really ever sort of believed or felt that kind of sense of what goes on after death. But here I really did start to feel it, because I could feel like there was something beyond. And Theo was part of that, and he was all around us. And that was a really, really profound experience that has stayed with me ever since, and has shaped a lot of ways how I see the world. I'm more open to what goes on and not so set in my views as a result. Because Kerri works on an interesting level with the shamanic work. We can talk about fifth dimensional work, and that's not, she talks about fifth dimension, but she talks about it in a shamanic way, in the different levels. And there are certain totem animals that represent the different levels. You can talk to Kerri about that, and it was incredible. But we started to feel what that was about, and it has obviously worked in other areas of how we view our life generally.
Kerri has so much magic in the way she works with nature. Is so beautiful, the way she incorporates stones, and I can't begin to describe the magic that Kerri's showed me, and I feel very blessed to met Kerri, that Kerri's in our life. She constantly just shows things and teaches things and just opens up your awareness to these other dimensions, because she's worked with the shamans in Peru. She's worked with people, and she's an expert in this field. And so she shows you the magic that exists that you can't see until she brings your awareness to it. There's a couple of other experiences we just want to run through, and do you want to go through yours?
Yeah, I did a soul retrieval with Kerri, so that was a 3-hour session in her clinic, and it was an incredible experience. I zoned in and out of different places at the time, and I remember I cried and I went through a lot of different expressions of feeling and emotion, and there was a release that happened. And one of the things that I really was working on, I set about talking when she first of all started the consultation, was I want to work on my back, because I've had this problem for many years with it, low back. And she, within that, we built this whole experience, this whole structure where my back is like a tree trunk, and it's very solid, and I really have ever since then felt like I'm connected to the earth through the roots, through my feet, and it made me more solid in that way. And I'm still doing things like Pilates and things that really help to maintain it, but the strength is there, the certainty is there, and it's just a much clearer, more freeing experience ever since then.
And it gives you that visualization, I think, that then cements it into your subconscious.
That's very true.
Therefore it happens. So she gives you this way of connecting with nature, and then you've got an image in your mind that you can cement through your subconscious. Anyway, that's how I interpret it.
It's kind of very simple. That's right. We talk, as I mentioned before, we talk about fifth dimension often, and that can really bamboozle people and just distance you from what this stuff is about. But the thing is, the way Kerri works is on a level that you can totally relate to. It's very practical, and yeah, you've had a soul retrieval as well. So
I've had a couple. I've had two, and they were both very different. And one of them that I'll share was the visualization that I still have was Kerri was kind of lifting me like this in her arms, where we went on this journey, and I woke up. She's like, "Okay, what did you see?" And I saw her lifting me through the sky as if we were traveling in space, and she was just holding me, and we were traveling through the space. That's all I could see. And when I came back, she said, "Yeah, I took you, to this place and this place," and
astral traveling.
And it was just amazing that she said, "That's where I took you. I took you here." And so you kind of think, was I dreaming that? But it was just amazing, and the layers that it actually unhooks from your past. If there's anything that you feel is stopping you from moving forward energetically, or you've got ties to certain things that happened in your life or events in your life that you haven't dealt with, then she finds ways to unhook that so that you are free energetically. And it's amazing what things just then show up in your life that it just effortlessly happens, and you just don't have that memory anymore. It doesn't affect you, or it doesn't impact you. And I was just thinking, the two soul retrievals that I went there were two different things that I was having trouble with, just letting go of. And I'm thinking about them now, and they don't have any impact on me. It's a very painless, and sometimes you can do work and go back to your past and it's traumatic, but in this way you're just letting go and you're unhooking stuff, and it's effortlessly, effortless.
And interesting about the effortlessness is that since then a lot's gone on in our lives. A lot of shifts have happened in terms of moving house, in terms of how our business has grown and really moved to another level. The way we are just in our communication with our lives, we don't seem to be caught up on a lot of the drama. It's just things are simpler, and it's a subtle thing that makes a massive difference in your life. Now I could put that down to a number of things, and I can definitely put it down to one of the big things was these soul retrievals we did with Kerri. Mine was back in October, and Rachel's was a little bit before that. But I think it's one of those things where when you become lighter and more free, then you're free to be, and you can actually start to just get on with the important things. So.
And I can't wait to do other stuff with Kerri, because she is so magical, and when you work with her on a long-term way, that's where the magic really starts to take hold. Because it's like anything, if you do it just short bursts, you'll get a certain little bit, But
Yeah.
if you actually really work in deep with this stuff, it just shifts everything. And,
It does. Things unfold. They unfold more. They do deepen.
natural.
It's and you know that's where, because we've worked with Kerri for a couple of years in that time, and we've got more and more depth to where we go in our conversations as well as any processes that we've done. So yeah.
So yeah, we just want to say thank you so much, Kerri. You're the most beautiful, special human being. We love being around you. We absolutely love working with you. And thank you for the magic that you've brought to our lives.
Yeah, thank you for all your wisdom, all your love, and keep on doing what you're doing, because it's very, very unique and special work.
It is. Bye.